Wir kommen zum letzten verbliebenen deutschen Starter hier bei den German Darts Open 2018. 21 Jahre jung, in Idstein geboren, der World Youth Champion von 2015, aktuell die Nummer 48 der Welt. Er ist Deutschlands Nummer 1. Herzlich willkommen dem Maximizer Max Hopp. Es wartet ein Husarenstück auf den Maximizer, denn jetzt kommt die aktuelle Nummer 2 der Welt, der WM-Finalist von 2014, der UK Open Champion von 2017, aus Schottland, Snakebite, Peter Wright.
Perhaps the two most popular darts players in Germany clashing in round two.
The Poppy George Noble.
Max Hopp, Germany's number 1. The 21-year-old from Idstein, who is back and in form, playing some very impressive stuff and getting results against Peter Snakebite Wright, the world number 2, runner-up on the first 2 European Tour events of this year, a winner of 6 Euro Tour titles, and the darling of the Deutschland crowd. Only one of them can make it through to tomorrow's 3rd round. And I'm not really sure who the majority of the 3,000 fans here want it to be, because I know there's going to be some patriotism involved here, but they do really, really like Peter Wright. Every single time that they get somebody up on stage and ask them what walk-on they want to do before we get going with the session's action, it's Peter Wright, every time. Often Peter Wright comes out and jumps around with them. We've seen that happen here in Saarbrücken. He is the defending champion here at the German Darts Open. He beat Benito van der Pas in an incredible final 12 months ago.
Das leg Max through first. Game on.
And Peter Wright gets his campaign underway as he looks to retain the title. I'm Dan Dawson, Mike Lawrence alongside me for it.
And I know, Dan, that Max Hopp was a bit worried coming into this game, knowing how popular Peter Wright here is in Germany, whether they would be favouring him, Peter Wright, over Max, the home favourite. But I think it's fair to say the crowd's been very respectful wherever we go, and I'm sure they'll be cheering on both players. It's a game which the crowd have been waiting for, we've been waiting for. When we saw this draw emerge of Peter Wright taking on Max Hopp, and you can see the crowd already split between chanting Maxi Maxi Hopp and Peter Wright.
Yeah, well, the Germans are noted, the German darts crowds, for basically just cheering on everybody. We shall see if they can play a part. If this gets close, they may be forced to pick a side. If somebody runs away with it, then they'll probably just support both of them or the winner. But it could play a role in this game.
100.
In terms of the head-to-head, it's 3-0 in Peter's favour. The last time they met was on the European Tour in Hamburg, the European match play back in May 2016, when Peter won that match 6-4.
Yeah, and that was a quarter-final as well. And what's significant about that is that Max Hopp,
91.
he made the quarter-finals in Munich last time out in the Euro Tour, but that was the first time he made a senior ranking quarter-final since that tournament, 2 years nearly. Not going to fill this up, not even for lols.
Yeah, long time, too long.
107.
Playing very well, Max, at the moment. And it would be great to see a German get through to the final day of action, but Peter Wright's form on the European Tour, unable to add to the 6 wins he's enjoyed because he's faced Michael van Gerwen in the opening 2 finals.
It's going to get noisy in a second.
He showed the first leg, Max Hopp. Second leg, Peter Wright. Game 1.
Strong start to this one. Now, not only did Max Hopp on the Euro Tour last time out end his 2-year barren spell, making it beyond the last 16 of a senior ranking event, he followed that up in Barnsley on the Saturday with another quarter-final, back-to-back senior ranking quarter-finals for Max Hopp. Now that has never happened before. And he made the last 16 on the Sunday as well. So Max Hopp, from absolutely nowhere, has just come storming back into form. And it is not only good to see, you know, a young player who's gone through a very tough spell get back to playing some good darts, but it is a massive boon for Germany in general, because they have fallen in love with this game and they are desperate for one of their own to be genuinely challenging. And I tell you what, some of the performances, particularly the ones he put in last time out in Munich, they can worry the big players. He hammered Mensur Suljovic 6-2 with 102 average. He beat Mervyn King 6-4 with a 96. And it was only James Wade, who we know is playing some fantastic darts, did for him in the quarter-final. Wade eventually losing in the semis to Peter Wright, as he'd done in the first Euro Tour event of the year. It had a very familiar feel to it in certain respects last time out in the Euro Tour compared to the first one.
Well, the volume level has risen as we expected.
78.
And the winner awaiting this one in round 3 is none other than Benito van der Pas, so we could see a repeat of last year's final if Peter were to prevail, or we could see an intriguing clash between 2 of the young guns if Max Hopp were to get through and take on the young Dutchman, who, well, he was facing an early exit at the hands of Paul Nicholson earlier this evening. Paul Nicholson racing to a 4-0 lead, 5-2 up, missing 7 match darts, allowed Benito back in. Benito's been in very poor form in recent months, but Benito prevailed in the decider to win 6-5 and book his place in to the final day of action here in Saarbrücken.
96ers check out Peter Wright loves. Hopp might have to take this out. Not going to.
98.
So treble 20 for double 18 is the shot, but if he's low on the treble 20 and hits the single 20, he'll go double-double. He's high, so he may stay there. He's looking at the double anyway, I think. He is, to leave double top. Soon, we're going to have to start calling that for Peter Wright. Because he hits that so often.
Game on.
That was classy. double 18, double top, and the crowd enjoyed that. And they'll enjoy this as well if Max can fill the bed up. Can't quite do it. Still 3 more matches to come after this, remember. Joe Cullen against Luke Humphreys, all English affair. Then Mensur Sulevic, the number 6 seed, up against Jermaine Watamena. And we round off the night with the reigning world champion, Rob Cross. What an amazing story that was. What an amazing 12, 18 months he has had, taking on another young gun, Dimitri van den Berg, in the last second round match of the night.
140.
Well, early stages of this one, but Max Hopp looks up for it, and he looks in the mood to produce another sort of performance that he did against Mensur Suljovic. I haven't even mentioned Peter Wright's darts yet. They appear to be the same ones he was using
91.
in the Premier League, but he's using a very similar setup with a short stem and a very small flight. Now, he played 2 games on Thursday night in the Premier League with a setup very similar to this. I think the flights were slightly different.
100.
But the first game against Gary Anderson, I mean, he walked away with a 96 average on that game, and I don't even know how, because the darts were nowhere near each other. It's like there was a force field around them. Just couldn't group them together properly.
He certainly is darts tinker man.
But
they're effective tonight.
Actually, 121.
Big shot this. Now Max kind of made a name for himself on taking out the 161, which ends with treble 17 and bull, which is what he wanted there with the next 2 darts.
57. Peter, you require 90.
Could be a very timely 180 that for Snakebite. World number 2. Is he going to start in the 20s? Leaves double 15.
Well,
Max requires 64.
Max is back for 64. To raise the roof a little bit more. Double 8. Oh well, he's completely.
No
he's
score.
a flyer there.
Busting his
If
straw.
you require 30.
Well, does he split this, or does he go straight at it? Maybe you should have split it, Peter. But where are you going to squeeze it in, man? Oh, there.
Never in doubt.
Peter Wright.
Cupping his ear to the crowd.
First breaker throw. Advantage to the world number 2.
Yeah, they certainly have an unusual look to them, the sort of lopsided nature with those short stems on the end of them, those darts Peter's using tonight.
Snakebite nodding his head along with the chants of Max Hopp. Oh, one way of dealing with a partisan crowd.
100.
Remember Keegan Brown when he played Phil Taylor at the World Championship? Ended up singing along, walking in a Taylor Wonderland. Didn't do him any good.
97.
We mentioned that the hopes resting on the shoulders of Max Hopp as he looks to hit his first maximum of the match. Can't do it this time, but he's still only 21 years old, which is hard to believe. After coming through as World Youth Champion in 2015.
82.
So still plenty of time for him to make progress and hopefully be around for a long, long time to come, because, as you say, the support we get in Germany, fantastic wherever we go. More and more events being staged here.
Well, I think we made the point during his game yesterday, Max, when we saw him come through 6-1 with a 99 average
65.
against Zoran Lurchbacher, a 2-time Pro Tour finalist, and 2 recent appearances in Pro Tour finals for Zoran as well. And he's comprehensively outplayed by the Maximizer. Well, 1-2-1. He may look at the bull. No, he took the gamble.
157.
Bullseye would have an extra 5 points there for the 25, leaves him a 2-dart checkout. Whereas he knows he's going to have to use all 3 darts Unless he's going to showboat and go treble 17 bull. But yeah, the most he's going to get is one dart at double here. When at 25, he could have had 2.
Good chance to immediately break back. It won't happen on this occasion, so Peter back for double 10 to further extend his lead.
20.
And the whistle starts.
No score.
Interesting.
Match required 20.
Well, pulled the rabbit out of the hat of that double 15, didn't he, when he made life very difficult for himself? It was a similar looking shot. Oh, Max has gone high again on a double. Now for double 2. To break back.
16.
Tension.
PD required 20.
Up on the big stage.
How many chances do you get against a world number 2?
15.
Or more is the answer.
Match required 4.
Nervy times early on in the Saarland Halle. In the madhouse, having a smile to himself, just composing himself, deep breath.
Team shot to the full play, Max Hopp.
Scrappy, but it counts.
And we have our break back. The advantage swings
The
back to Max
match
Hopp.
to throw first. Game on.
Well, even if the standards haven't hit the heights quite so far, it's certainly
60.
the intriguing encounter that we expected and anticipated between these two tonight. Which way will it go? Who will prevail?
140.
Well, Peter Wright's first 9 average is pretty decent. Room for improvement, certainly.
134.
There's the 2 camps sat side by side. Team Maximizer, Team Snakebite. The overall average dragged down by all those darts missed at double. Peter Wright's missed 10 already, 7 for Max. There you see.
And we saw a lovely tribute with Peter's hair design in the Premier League on Thursday night, the crafty Cockney logo
100.
on the side of his head. And at the start of tonight's proceedings, all of the players involved tonight came out, and there was rapturous applause in tribute to Eric. As Peter Wright hits his second 180 of the match. And yes, the chants ringing around the hall of there's only one Eric Bristow for a good couple of minutes after.
Well, he thought about it. Thought about 180 would leave 27. Nothing. Well, he could use the crowd, but he wants to give himself 3 darts at a double, ideally, if he's allowed back to the board. Well, in the end, treble 17 would have left double 18. As it is, he'll come back looking at 70 unless Wright can take this out for an 11 or a 12 darter. Double 12 for an 11. Yeah, very, very impressive. Twice in this match so far, Peter Wright has fired in maximums against the Hopp throw to set up a shot for the match. Now, he messed around on it, eventually winning that 3rd leg, but he didn't mess around there.
And yeah, maybe just that little bit of hesitation where it was crossing Max's mind as Peter now getting into his stride. maybe in hindsight, we should have just banged in that maximum to leave 27. But it's all in the past now.
100.
180. 81 out in 2 darts. 180. Well, a perfect sequence of darts for Peter Wright comes to an end.
91. $59.
So advantage back with Wright in this 6th leg. There you see a great side-on view of the darts that Peter's using tonight with those very short, stubby stems.
Looking at them again, they might be different darts from the ones he was using on the Thursday night, actually. I thought they were the same at first, but I'm reconsidering.
And Max with the more conventional proportions.
100. Video 190.
Well, it could be back-to-back 11 darters here. I thought he was going double-double. What are you doing, Peter?
54.
I mean, it's Peter Wright's turn now to start chucking exhibition darts like Michael van Gerwen was doing last time out in Munich. And there's no need for him to go double-double there. I know he uses that a lot, but you're in danger of throwing a dart out the board. He's left himself double 18, which is a double that his wife Jo has told him stop leaving because you mess around. You miss inside, you go for the double 9s.
Oh, well,
the
third attempt.
Simpling Max to throw first.
Grudging applause from Team Snakebite in the crowd there.
Off the hook there with Joe.
Maximizer with a maximum.
180.
His first 180 of this one. I would argue it doesn't really matter for Max whether he wins this, as long as he's here and showing that, you know, the last couple of weekends aren't a flash in the pan. I think he's already done that to an extent with his performance in the first round against Zoran Lurchbacher, because if he keeps on playing at the standard he's been playing over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the rewards will come.
100.
It's just a matter of time. And obviously getting the world number 2 in the second round is always going to be a tough one. He's not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination, but what we didn't want to see is Max go back-to-back quarterfinals and
100.
then just regress and start shuffling around in the 80 averages. So apart from a few missed darts at double, this has been pretty impressive. Back to, well, 2 180s in this leg.
Superb leg from Max Hopp. Both averaging now in the mid-90s, these players.
95. Max, you require 41.
Single 9 for double 16, or is it 1 for tops? It's the former. And he wins it by 246 points that leg.
11 darter of his own for Max Hopp. Very impressive leg indeed. But back comes Wright, looking to banish any hopes of a comeback by the young German.
You see that 21 dart leg really does ruin some of the stats, because everything there, you've had 2 11 darters, 4 visits to the board, 2 15s and a 14, that's 5 visits, 1 that went 6 visits to the board, that was the second leg. And even then Peter Wright took out 96 double 18 double tops. So there's been some quality in this match. And there you go, identical averages.
There you go, who'd have thunk it?
96.
Now, Michael van Gerwen's just cruised past Danny Noppert with a 95.86 average. I've seen some big displays today already, though. Darren Webster was excellent. Dave Chisnell was superb.
Yeah, going into the final day, some players who are really hitting some good form right now, so poised for another fantastic day of darts as this German Darts Open reaches its conclusion. The third round matches all in the afternoon, then the quarterfinals, the semi and the final all tomorrow evening. There'll be another full house here in Saarbrücken, guaranteed.
That is a big visit for Max Hopp. 78 left, 2 darts checkout. Peter Wright has to take out the second biggest finish in the game to deny Hopp a chance to break back and make this 4-all. This would be enormous. It would be game-changing.
142. Max requires 78.
So close. What a great opportunity for Max. Double 12. Again, just doing the right thing, composing himself and hitting it. 4-all, the crowd love it. Break back of throw.
2 holes of throw, and Germany's number 1 is going to claim a first career victory over world number 2, Peter Wright, and set up a third round clash with Benito van der Pas, who has only scraped through to the final day here at the German Darts Open. And it could well be, well, it'd be a very realistic chance for Max Hopp to make it 3 senior ranking quarterfinals in 4 events, although that won't help him out. And there's still plenty of work to do in this one.
Now down to best of 3, effectively. And just that little glance across the drinks table from Peter Wright at his opponent there.
55.
Well, neither player doing anything at the start of this leg. Wright unable to punish Max, and Max with a much better visit second time round.
100.
Oh, how about this?
128.
Looking to set up a finish, but we'll have to wait.
No, Peter Wright, even a maximum doesn't leave him a finish from here, so Max knows he's got 2 visits from 194.
Yeah.
140.
Peter is breathing down his neck, but Max is still in control as things stand. And that might have just opened the door.
There's a big score here from Peter. Well, it's going to be
60.
Just the 60.
Actually, 136.
So, anyone's guess which way this 9th leg will go.
2 treble 20s leaves double 8 for Max Hopp to go within a leg. His first ever win against Peter Snakebite Wright.
96.
But he leaves himself on top, and it's down to Peter Wright to produce a massive checkout. Treble 20, is it? Oh, he's looking down the board. Another one there. Oh, wonderful stuff. Double 16. Oh,
114.
Margins. Fine margins.
He set us up for the grandstand finale, but it wasn't to be. Can Max Hopp hit tops? He can indeed. Now it's a leg away
Max Hopp
from knocking out the number 2 seed and making it through to round 3.
Game off.
He led at 1-0, Max Hopp, but after Peter Wright levelled at 1 apiece, Hopp has not been in the lead until now.
100.
In their previous meetings, they first met in 2013 on the European Tour, the Austrian Darts Open.
He must have been a babe in arms.
He pretty much was.
140.
And he was beaten, he was ironed out 6-1 by Peter Wright. They met 2 years later at the World Series of Darts finals. He was beaten 6-3. Then there was that quarter-final a couple of years back where he's beaten 6-4. He has been getting closer. Over the last couple of years, he hasn't looked like a guy who was making any progression. He was standing still. He might even been going backwards. But the last few weeks, things have changed for Max Hopp. He looks confident. He looks like he believes he can get wins against the biggest players in the world, and even things like that happening, hitting the flight, losing 60 or 20 points on the floor, and he still maintains his composure and fires another one in the treble 20. Peter Wright is on the ropes. Max Hopp looking for a knockout blow, and it might be coming very, very soon. Max stubbornly staying on the treble 20 here. He does find it. And again.
Wow, what a display. Peter Wright would have known he was going to have a match on his hands tonight, taking on the German favourite. But if he is to continue his form on the European Tour, Peter, he's really got to dig deep, and, well, it may be too little too late.
The faces on the families tell you the situation. Joe looks resigned to seeing her man beaten, because 93. Max has left himself double 4. 3 match darts for Max Hopp. 3 times he's come up against Peter Snakebite Wright, and 3 times he has been beaten to make it to the final day of action of the German Darts Open. And he might even have more than one visit at this with Wright back on 140. It has been a welcome return to form for Max Hopp over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He has averaged, once again, in the mid to high 90s. But he's going to have to wait a little longer to seal the victory.
Peter Wright, a chance to silence the crowd, take us to a deciding leg. The tension here is incredible, and it won't happen this time. Max Hopp back for double 2 for a famous win.
4-2 down to the second best player in the world, and Germany's number 1 has reeled off 4 consecutive legs. Peter Wright is out. The German Darts Open champion knocked out in round 2 sensationally by the top player from Germany in front of his home fans. Once again, Max Hopp finds himself in the final day of a Euro Tour. The Maximizer is most definitely back, and Benito van der Plas is all that stands between him and yet another senior ranking quarter-final. After months and months of struggle, the Maximizer is getting his rewards.
Max Hopp bezwingt die Nummer 2 der Welt, bezwingt den Titelverteidiger Snakebite Peter Wright. Das ist Wahnsinn, oder? Ali Hopp ist neu, ne?
Ich bin fertig mit der Welt, wirklich.
Ja. Wahnsinn. Peter Wright bezwungen auf so einer großen Bühne. Nummer 2 der Welt geschlagen.
Wie ihr alle wisst, ich hatte letztes Jahr keine leichte Saison. It wasn't my best season last year, and I'm so glad that I'm back. And I'm mentally stronger than I ever was, and I'm happy that I beat Peter Wright.
Gratulation.
Dankeschön, Saarbrücken. Vielen Dank für die Unterstützung.
Ich glaube, es war für euch gar nicht zu erkennen. Da waren einige Tränchen im Augen. Der konnte nicht viel reden.